Hey team, I'm Kate Freeman and this is the Daily Dollop. On this episode of the Daily Dollop, we're going to be talking about snacks, some myths around snacking, whether snacking is helping or hindering us, and we're going to finish it off with some healthy, practical snack ideas. Welcome back to the Daily Dollop, everyone. My name is Kate Freeman. I'm a registered nutritionist and the founder of the Healthy Eating Hub. And fun fact about me is that I grew up as a minister's daughter. So my father was a pastor of a church. And so I had a reasonably sheltered upbringing. One day in year 7, we were in science class, all of us kids. Well, me with all of the kids in my class. And we were learning about volcanoes. And one of the boys was reading from a textbook and he said erection instead of eruption. And all the kids in the class laughed. But I didn't know what an erection was. So I was just kind of like, ha, 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 pretend I laughed. And then later on that night, we were having dinner with my 3 younger siblings, my mum and my dad. We're eating spaghetti bolognese. I remember it clearly. And while we're eating, I just bust out, "What's an erection?" And my parents are like, we're like, we'll talk to you later, honey. And I got the sex talk with the Encyclopedia Britannica. And there you go. I was mortified and horrified at the time, but you know, there was some pretty good illustrations in the encyclopedia back then from the 90s. It was sufficient. It got me through. So on to today's show where we're chatting snacking. I love snacking. How good is it? But you know what? I think one of the common questions when people are trying to lose weight or eat healthily or improve their nutrition is they often feel confused about whether they should be snacking or not. Sometimes they feel like they don't have time to snack. They're questioning whether they should be fasting or, you know, eating 3 large meals a day or 6 small meals a day. It's just this big kerfuffle of information. So let's just talk through some of the myths and woo around snacking that you might see on the internet, many of it contradictory. So the first is that snacking is unhealthy. Wrong for a number of reasons. One, because the sentence doesn't have any context. So snacking as a definition in terms of eating something in between your main meal, the act in itself isn't unhealthy, but it's potentially become something that's commonly said because when we do eat in between a meal, we're often in a rush, on the go, in the car, at our desk at work, and we're often making a choice of food that's probably high in energy and low in nutrition. So it's kind of what we're choosing to snack on that could potentially be unhealthy rather than snacking itself. Preparing healthy snacks takes ages. They absolutely don't. You just need a few really quick ideas up your sleeves to be able to bust out a healthy snack on the go. I actually keep a bunch of healthy snack options at my work and at home so that whenever I'm starting to feel hungry, I've got something ready and easy to go. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of forethought and pre-planning. Another one is that snacking spoils your appetite. A common one with children and certainly for toddlers and preschoolers, if they are snacking too much in between their meals, they're less likely to eat their main meals. And I have a fabulous pediatric dietitian on my team actually who can help you with fussy eating, and she's all over that stuff. But I think from an adult perspective is that appetite, schmappetite. The main key with eating is that you're choosing to eat when you're hungry and stopping eating when you're full, and so listening to your body. You can't spoil your appetite or ruin weight loss programs with snacking, provided there are key nutrition principles in place, which I'll talk about in a second. Another common piece of advice that we hear is you shouldn't snack before bed, because if you snack before bed, then your body's going to store it all as fat, and that's a terrible thing. Not necessarily true. Again, it depends on the context of your whole day and what else you've eaten in that day, as well as your overall energy needs for the day. But certainly there's been times when I've been at work all day and then gone on to a function in the evening and not come home till 9:30, 10, absolutely starving, and I've had something small to eat so I can go to sleep because I'm so hungry I wouldn't have been able to sleep. And that did not spiral my body into inflammation or store excessive amounts of fat. I was totally fine the next day and the day after that. So that is not a thing. The truth is, and what you've hopefully found throughout this entire series on the Daily Dollop, is that there are no rules with food. There are just key nutrition principles that can be applied in a number of different ways. And the two main key principles is that your body needs energy to function. And depending on what your goals are, whether you have high sports performance goals or you're wanting to lose weight or maintain your weight, is that the amount of energy that your body needs will differ. And we just need to be mindful that we're getting energy from both our meals that we prepare and our snacks, so any food that we eat in between our meals, and potentially some of our drinks. But sometimes it's easy to forget about the energy that we eat in snacks. One of the dietitians on my team tells this great story when she worked in a diabetes clinic. And there was a gentleman who had really high blood sugar levels. But when she was talking to him about what he ate, he was like, I don't eat main meals at all. I hardly eat at all. Occasionally if there's a social thing on, I do, but I don't eat. And his blood sugar levels were up in the teens and 20s, so very high. And she was just miffed by the fact that his blood sugar levels are so high, yet apparently he's not eating. Anyway, it turns out after a number of different lines of questioning, which we're trained to do in our profession to understand people's food habits, is it comes out that he's eating 10 or more apples a day. So he is eating, but in his mind, he was like, I don't eat my main meals. He'd completely forgotten about the fact that he grazes and snacks on apples primarily and fruit all day. And of course, all of that fruit without other key food groups was meaning that his blood sugar levels were really high. So we just need to be mindful that we're going to be getting energy from our snacks as well as our meals, and so put our snack in the context of our total energy needs and our goals, and so that will adjust what our energy needs to be. The other thing is that your body needs nutrients. So it needs protein, it needs fiber, it needs carbohydrates, it needs fats, it needs vitamins, it needs minerals, and a bunch of other what we call phytochemicals, which are particularly rich in plant-based foods for our body to function at its best. Now, all foods, even ultra-processed foods, contain nutrients. However, some contain a lot more than others. And so we know that when we're eating a food in its most natural state with little to minimal food processing, that it has much, much more nutrition. There's typically much more protein, much more fiber, and much more vitamins and minerals in a whole food compared to an ultra-processed food. And so when we think about snacking, I always like to encourage my clients to think, well, this is just another opportunity for nourishment in your day. So think of it from that perspective. What food groups or what different nutrients can I add in at this snack time? Have a think about then what is the reason that you might snack. Now, we snack for a variety of different reasons. Sometimes we're bored, sometimes we're sad, sometimes we feel social pressure, like at a work morning tea, or we're visiting a friend or a family member. Sometimes we're celebrating, sometimes we're rewarding ourselves. Sometimes our work sucks and the coffee is helping us get through, or the little snack from the cafe is helping us deal with the pain of our job right in this moment. Then, of course, we snack because we're hungry. And so I would encourage you to only be snacking if you feel like it's genuine hunger, because we want to be fostering that intuitive approach to eating where you're listening to your body. So if you're eating because you're hungry, it means that you've either got, it's been a long time since your last meal and you potentially have a few hours to go for your next meal. So you want to be adding some fuel in. But the other thing that you want to do is you want to kind of nip your hunger in the bud. Like you want to give your body some fuel and some energy, not too much, but just enough to get it through to the next meal. And then suppress that appetite and that hunger so that you can move on until your next meal. You don't want to start this cascade of thinking, I'm just snacking now and I can't stop. I've certainly had periods like that when I start the snack and then I'm snacking on the hour every hour. So what we want to think about are 3 key nutrients that help us feel satisfied and give nutrition into our day. And they are protein, fiber, and fats. So research has shown that they are what we call satiating and help us feel full and satisfied. And so from that, what I like to do is make food combos from those foods that are rich in those 3 nutrients. So protein, think cheese, leg ham, tinned tuna, egg, ricotta, even little baked beans are some protein-rich foods. Yogurt is another option. Then we've got fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruit, whole grain crackers or bread, or as well as legumes like 4-bean mix or chickpeas. And then we've got fats. So they could be a spread like peanut butter, a dip like hummus, or some nuts, some avocado, etc. And then once I have nailed down my favorite foods in each of those 3 nutrient categories, I then make combos. And I had a snack right before shooting this, which was whole grain saladas. So that's my fiber with some hummus dip and some slices of cheese. So I had some fats and then some protein. And I feel really satisfied. That is fine within my energy needs for the day. And I'm good until lunch now. But there are a bunch of other combos that you can make either with 3 of those nutrients or even just 2 if you want something easy. So you could do apple and peanut butter, so some fiber and some fats. You can do yogurt, berries, and then some chia seeds. So blitz the frozen berries up, pop some chia seeds in, let it set for a couple of hours, and then stir it through some yogurt. Oh, so yummy. You get some protein from the yogurt, fiber and fats from the chia seeds, and fiber from the berries. Such a great snack. Baby bocconcini with tomato and cucumber. Yum. Just make a little snacking finger plate. If you have it, fresh basil added into the mix of that or some cherry tomatoes. Oh, so good. We've got some protein and some fiber. Carrot sticks and some beetroot dip. Again, fiber and some fats. Avocado and Vegemite on some whole grain saladas or cruscets. We've got some fiber and some healthy fats. Pear and cheese. Apple and cheese. Mango and halloumi. Oh, with a slice of avocado. That is so yummy. But only if you can grill the halloumi, which is not often easy in snack time, but that's a good combo. You definitely have to do it. Another more sort of filling option would be a whole meal crumpet, being some fiber. Put a smearing of Nutella on there, that's some fats, and then some banana. A great snack to get you through, one that you'd really look forward to. So have a think about your snacks today. See if you can do some pairings, pair some fiber with some protein with some fats. Listen to your body, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, and enjoy. If you're looking to develop some healthy eating habits around your snacks, my signature program has a full education module on snacks. And how the module works is essentially it's based on a flip learning model, which means you learn a little bit and then you're encouraged to apply what you learn and put it into action. So we have practical application to what you're learning and then a habit tracker where you can actually track your habit. And the idea is that when you practice the new habit enough, it starts to become part of your life. And then when you build one habit on top of the other, big changes come without having to overhaul your entire lifestyle. Check it out. There's a code up there for 10% off if you feel like that's something you'd like to try. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.